All right, it's 11 a.m. West African time. I will be starting right away. So you're welcome, and we're excited to have you all on the call again today. This is the training organized by Data Scientists Network, partnership Meta for the Geospatial and Mobility Data for Health Solutions in Africa pre-hackathon. So today we'll be looking at the vector analysis with Python on ArcGIS. We will also be utilizing the Africa GeoPortal that you have all been introduced. And today we'll also be having our facilitator again to walk us through that. And amazingly, we've had 2 sessions. So if you've not been part of it, today it will be more like a continuation of what we started. So we'll be having the sessions shortly, but just a quick recap of what we've done over the last 2 sessions. And then I will also run you through the timeline of the event. Just a quick reminder of what you need to have at the back of your mind as we continue with this training. So the first on the agenda, on the timeline of the event, is the masterclass, which we've had last week. And then currently we are running this learning training, which we run for 3 weeks, 3 classes per week. And then we mentioned the fact that it will hold on Tuesdays, Wednesday, and Friday. So today is Friday for this week 1 of the training. So just that's and it's also run via Zoom. So please just note that. We'll always send you a reminder to ensure that you don't miss any of the classes. So registration closes 30th of November. We've always been announcing this. Please, if you have friends or colleagues that needs to be a part of this, remember to just invite them to be a part of it. So you can share the link with them to join. And the hackathon application kickoff and workshop event we hold 28th of November. Please note this also. It's important that you're part of it. And you can also invite your friends and colleagues to be a part of it. And to just remind you also that the hackathon solution submissions we end by 18th of November 2022. So please put it at the back of the mind also. It's important that you note all these important dates so that you don't lose out or maybe miss anything. And more importantly, is the need for you to join the Africa GeoPortal platform so that you can access all the training all the data set that we've prepared for you, and also to be able to gain access to the ArcGIS license, which allows you to be able to build your solution out on your desktop. And also you'll be provided ArcGIS credits, which allows you to do a lot of things on the platform. So we look forward to seeing you on the platform. Just bit.ly/geospatial-learning-group. So please remember this. It's simple, just 3 words: Geospatial Learning Group. Just separating them, and then it's bit.ly. Just click just type that into your URL tab, and then you're good to go. So if you have friends that needs to join this, we're also live streaming on YouTube. So remember to just share with them. We'll drop the link on the chat so that you can always share with your colleagues and friends out there. We look forward to a great time today. So last week and if you need more information, you can always visit www.datascience-nigeria.org/AI-4-health/. Remember, these are important links that you must arm yourself with. So last week we looked at vector. But majorly we just note the fact that we talked about single layer analysis and multi-layer analysis, which my colleagues introduced you to last week. And then it talks about buffering, dissolve, append, merge, select, pattern analysis, And then under multi-layer, it talked about overlay, clip, spatial join. It also mentioned that you can always do network analysis, nearest route, and drive time on it. So today we are bringing one more thing there. And that is the inclusion of Python. So today, my colleagues will be introducing you to how you can use your notebook on, how you can use the notebook on ArcGIS. And this is what it will be taking on in the next few minutes. So today we'll be giving enough time for questions. I mean, most importantly, because this is a new platform that you have been introduced to. So we anticipate a lot of questions to come from you. So we are also willing to take more questions and answer them over this call. So it's time. I'll be introduced. Just a quick introduction to my colleagues who will be taking you again today. So he's Wari, a data scientist and also a geospatial analyst. So welcome with me, Wari. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and good morning, everyone. So thank you for joining today's section. I hope we are all pumped up for our classes today. And I also hope we learned a lot during our last class. That was on Wednesday. So like my colleague said, so today we'll be looking at how you can use ArcGIS also with Python. But before the last class, we also had an incomplete task we were supposed to do. So what we'll do is we'll try to complete it before we move towards Python. A quick check, can you confirm you can hear me before I move on? On the chat window, you can just drop a response. Okay, someone is saying I should increase the volume. Okay, fine. I'll try to speak more louder. So confirm if this is better. You can hear me very, very well. Okay, yes, perfect. So I'll be sharing my screen again. So this is my screen. Like in the last class, if you observed what we did in the last class, we tried to quantify conflict with health facilities to understand where are more hotspots of conflict in Nairobi, Kenya. So what we did is firstly was we tried to quantify at each admin boundary to what's the number of conflicts in each of those locations. And also we also did what we call heat map density of it. So today we'll try also to understand question on for each health facilities, what was the number of conflict within that range, and also we also want to know also for the conflict also available, what's the distance from conflict to health facility, because if you have conflict and there's no health facility to cater for, especially things that has to be with emergency, people tend to die and or more casualty tend to happen. So we need to understand what area is lacking available quality health service. So with that said, we'll begin. So if you were here at the previous class, you can see this is where we stopped at the previous class. So on this layer, what you can see is this. On this layer, you can see we have our conflict map, which is the one in red. This is the one in red, is a conflict, the conflict data layer, which is the point data, which we already explained. Also on this layer, this is what they call the conflict density. So this is density that shows all the spread of conflict. If I uncheck on these and show you just the conflict density, so you see these are like more like a heat map of it. You see Nairobi has more heat map than you have places like Ipia. Then on the next is this data type that is released here is also a polygon data set. So these are circular data set. However, they can also be converted into like a raster data. Then finally, we have this is a polygon data. This is admin boundary of Kenya. So this is what we did is we put a styling on each data. So this styling has to do with the number of conflict in each of this admin boundary. Like you've seen, like I've explained, Nairobi, Laikipia, and also Marsabit have more this conflict. So you are going to go back to my data file here. So what we'll now be doing is this. Now we want to understand health facility with respect to this conflict. Now I'll bring in my health facility data, which we did previously. So I come here to add, like I've been doing, and I go to my group. Then I search for health facility. So the health facility, it's in the mobility group, which we've asked everyone to join. So if you've not on the group, once again, kindly join so you can also have access to ArcGIS Pro, because ArcGIS Online has this limitation. So for you to be able to use more access to many processing or many analysis tool, you need ArcGIS Online. Then I need Kenya health sites, like I've said previously, so I can add it here. And it loads onto my data. Now this health site, like I've said, this health site consists of also local health pharmacy or also normal pharmacy. So what we are more concerned about is hospital, those locations that have more sophisticated unit to take care of emergency. So I will come here and click on open my data. So I'll open my attribute table. So this table describe the features of this health site, and I need to filter. So I click at this action and filter here. Now I want to filter health sites. So these are health amenities type. So if you see here, you see amenities here. So I'm looking for amenities. And this is it. So I want something that is I want something that is equals to hospital. So I want hospital only. So however, we are not sure of the spelling of the hospital. There's how you can do, you can click on unique here. And once you click on the values, it auto suggests it for you. So it auto fills it for you with suggestions. So I can see this hospital. I click on this, then I apply my filter. So you can see these are hospitals locations in Kenya, and they're about 256 points location. So the next thing I want to do is I want to style this hospital. I don't want it to be a point. I want to give it a kind of unique styling. So what I'll be doing now is this. I'll come to my hospital health site data. So I can rename this actually because there's a polygon data here, like I've said. So when you add it, it comes with polygon, but I don't need this polygon. So I can remove this polygon. We did this in the previous line. I can rename this to call this just Kenya health site for easy view. Then what I can do now, I can style this. So I can change the style. I go to option here to change the style. I come to symbol here like I did previously. Then I want to change the style to something that I want to use like an icon. So I can go to point of interest. So in that point of interest, it shows me pre-icons of different objects. So I want something that has to do with hospital. So I just need an icon that has to do with hospital. So I can check for what hospital icons look like. So I have this icon that looks like a bed. Someone is lying down like hospital bed. So I need this. And I need to also reduce this symbol size. So I reduce this to 15. Then I load my hospital sites inside. So you can see where you are. I have hospital site. Now, if you look at a very, very funny map, you see that while you also have hospital site, more conflict in Nairobi, you also have cluster of hospital. Maybe people know that there tends to be more casualty, or because of the high population in Nairobi, that's why you have this. Then what I need to do is now, I need to find a relationship between my health site and my conflicts. So what would I need to do? Also, I need to do what we call I need to summarize number of conflict in each health site within a particular radius. So for 1 kilometer radius of each health site, I want to ask myself, what's the number of conflicts within that area? So what do I need to do? I'll click on OK here just to validate the changes I did. So I go to my analysis tool. So this is more like what we talked about, multi-layer analysis. It is more like a multi-layer analysis. They are dealing with two different layers or two different data. So I go to my analysis here and I go to summarize. So I need to summarize by nearby. So this summarize does two things. First, it does the buffer, which means which is a single layer analysis. It does the buffer on the hospital. After doing the buffer on the hospital, then it does counts. So within that hospital buffer of 1 kilometer, it counts the number of the number of conflicts inside. So I go to summarize nearby, I click on. So the question is asking, choose a layer from which distance will be measured from. So what distance, what do you want to summarize on? So I want to summarize on health site, which this is it. And they say choose a layer to summarize. So for each buffer of health site, what do you want to count or what do you want to summarize? I want to count my health facility. So I want to count my conflict, sorry. So this is the conflict. So the type of summarization needed to do you want to do a distance, a line distance summarization? Yeah. However, there are other options like drive time. So you can do a drive time summarization. So you can say for each location, for each health site, within 5-minute drive time, what is the number of conflict there within 10 minutes or 20 minutes? But for our test case, so I'll be using distance coverage drive time. Now for this, I was just using the line distance, not drive time, sorry. Now you can see here, you can have different types of drive time. You can also have work time, which you can also use depending on your own case. Then this is the kilometer of extent you want. I don't want 5 meters, I need 1 meter, I just want kilometer radius. So I ask it to return a bounding box of that area. Then another thing it also asks is as summary statistics. Now my health site, not my health site, my conflict data also contains of locations on conflict, and it also has attribute of facility or fatalities. What's the number of fatalities in each of these conflicts? So what I need to do is I can say, okay, for my conflict, while you are counting the number of conflicts, also sum the number of fatalities within that area that conflict carry. So that's where I include this value here. So if you come here, you see fatalities here. And what statistics do I want? I want the sum of fatalities in each of them. So it sums it. Then this is group by. I don't need to group by any values to get my value. So what I need to do now is my result layer. So I can call this Kenya conflict in Kenya sites by or at 1 kilometer radius. So this is a 1 kilometer, is a kind of like a radius, 1 kilometer radius. So once I do this, I remember we had made a mistake last time when we had to just use only the correct map extent. So we don't want the correct map extent. We want it to use everything. That's why we need to uncheck on this. If we don't uncheck on this, it's just going to calculate that value on only what we can see on the screen. So I'll then run this analysis. I can also show my credit unit to be sure that I'm not consuming more. Maybe if I have unlimited, credit requires 0.38, which is very minute compared to one of the 100 units we have. I can then run this analysis. However, this most time it takes a little time, but it's if you have like if you have a high number of credit, I think it's going to run faster. So while it's running, I'll check if we have questions on our chat window. Let's see if we have questions. So is there any questions we have? Okay, I think no way. So does anybody have any question? Okay. Okay, then we're moving on. So it keeps running. It takes about 3 to 2 minutes. However, I already have the already calculated value, but I just need to run so you can see how it works on its own. Okay. Okay, great. Great. So it's successfully been completed. So if I uncheck on this other variable, so you can see this very, very well. So you can see it, this is the conflict. So if you zoom in, you'll see this is the 1 kilometer radius. And if you put in the health site here, you'll see that for each of these health sites, it calculates 1 kilometer radius. Now, for you to see how our values did, you can open the attribute table here by clicking on the show table here. And then for the show table, what we can do then is, okay, someone is saying you have some red point despite changing the symbols to the point of interest. Why this? Okay, I have 2 different points on my data set. I have health point, I have conflict point. The conflict point is the one in red, while the head point was what I changed to point of interest. I did not change the conflict to another marker. So I just made the conflict just red. I don't know if that answers your question. Good. Okay, so then why we are done doing that? Why are the data is already loaded? So look at the attribute table from the radius we calculated. Now, if you can see count of points, and you can also see sum of fatalities. So if you look, if I sort it by descending order, so you can see there are locations that had up to 6 conflicts within September 2021 to within October 2021 to September 2021. So you can see there are 6 conflicts here. Now the question I'll ask is, where the locations you have 6 conflicts and we have two conflicts, the rest are 2, while some are just 1 conflict within 1 kilometer of each health facility. So if I select what locations has 6 conflicts, so you can see it here, this pops up, you can see this line shows. So if you select an attribute here, you can see the options it shows here. So you can see this shows up that these are the locations whereby in each of the health facility we have 6 conflicts within that area, and also this location. So you can see it's very close to University of Nairobi, and I think it's a very, very busy area. So you can be able to say that these locations are always very prone to these health facilities. When they have more incidents, they tend of more conflicts, they tend to be more influx of people into that health facility, because you can see there are more conflicts within that location. So you can see other places that have 2. You can see other places that have 2. So once I click on this, it shows the highlights here. Okay, this, yeah. So that's that about looking at, okay, what's the number of locations really. So I can also add my other features here. You can see it here. So you can see it here. So another question I'll ask is, these are I'm using health facilities to get number of conflict. Now, what about locations that they have conflict, but there are no health facilities within that area? What do we do? So we need to understand, like, okay, there are some locations that there are conflicts in some very far area location, but the health facilities also are far away. So what we can do, we can also calculate the nearest distance from the conflict location to the health facility, because let's see, does it really affect people moving from different places to another place? Because when there's more conflict and I don't have a health facility in my location, I need to move to somewhere else. So in order to do that, what I can do now is this. I go to my analysis point again. So on my analysis point, I go to my analysis point again. So on my analysis point, I come to use proximity. So this is proximity. I'll try to find the nearest location from a point to another point. So what do I can click on this find proximity here. So I can find proximity by distance. And the options for finding by drive time is not available. So where do I want to start from? I want to start from my health sites. No, I want to start from my health conflict. So I want what's the distance from health conflict to the health facility to health sites. Now I want to use line distance in doing. So you're saying limit the number of nearest by just 1 point. So what's the nearest distance? Was it just 1 nearest distance, not more than 1 nearest distance? So I want to limit the search radius to 100 kilometers, so I can increase it to 1,000. So it can also, even though it doesn't find at 100, it can also search at 1,000 kilometers was the nearest. Then I can change, or alternatively, I can click on this, check on the not to limit the search. So even though the location is about 500 kilometers, it can also search for me. So what would I do? I can, this layer would be called nearest Kenya health site, nearest Kenya conflict to health site. I can change it from conflict to Kenya, sorry, nearest, let me type it, nearest from conflict to health sites, Kenya. Okay, so I can then run this analysis. I don't want it to be current mass everything, right? Although this might take a lot of time. So while this is running on its own, can we have questions on the chat windows? Okay, I can't hear the speaker, Kabiru. Can anyone else confirm they can hear me? So maybe Kabiru needs to join. I don't know if others can confirm they can hear me.
Yes, I
awesome.
can hear.
Awesome. Kabiru, I think you need to rejoin. Someone is saying, can we analyze, for example, number of beds within that particular meter analysis? Yes, you can analyze number of beds within that. Yeah, if you have point locations of different bed place, you can analyze number of beds. Though the check for beds are always hospitals. So if you have number of beds in each hospitals, you can have, and also maybe if you have also this local bed attendant, and they can give you information of a different bed place, you can analyze and understand that area. So I've answered Inyano's question. So we are good. So now we already have our analysis here. So you can observe, you would see something very funny. So this brings us to another vector data type called a line data. So these lines are showing you like the distance from the health site to health facility to conflict. So when you come over here and you see, so you see places like Takunda, you need to go far place, Takuna and Tukana, you need to go far place for you to access health facilities from conflict. Then the result of this, let me explain this. The result of this shows you the health site, which is the feature, and also it also shows you the connecting line. So if you can look at this table of the connecting line, you see it shows you the kilometers. So for each of them, it shows the kilometers from the health site to the conflict location. Then it also shows you the different features of that conflict. So it picks the different features of that conflict and also its calculation of from what it had calculated. So if you look at other places here, so if you look at places like Lamu, so you see these are people need to go for them to get a health facility. So you can see as far as 33 kilometers, someone needs to go from here to and health facilities in Lamu. So these are like insights you can also derive from various health sites and also location. Then from there you can understand and see, okay, does that mean that people in Laikipia, now if you look at Laikipia now, there's no health site in Laikipia, so people are moving from Laikipia. Maybe from the conflicts, if there's a conflict there, people have to move from there to the nearest neighbor. So that's Baringo, and people have to use Nayadara. So you'd see they will observe kind of movement. So to solidify these facts, this way you can also check your mobility data based forgotten for Facebook to understand that, or during that month from September 2021 to November 2021, is there an increase in movement into Baringo, and has there been a decrease in movement in Laikipia? So you can try to ask yourself, what should be the reason? Should it be because of conflict during that period, or should be other reason? So that's that about this. So if anybody have any question concerning this before we move on, I would like to answer your question. Let me see the chat window. Okay, cool. Okay, I assume there's no question here currently. So once we've done with this, you can don't always forget to save your analysis, so you can save your content there. So I already saved it previously, I already named it, I save it, and you can also share your content when you're done. You can also share the link to him. You can, if you want to share with everyone, you can share with everyone. If you want to share with just Africa Geoportal group, you can just click on this. So that's that about this. So with that said, we will also move to the basic interface with Python for ArcGIS and ArcGIS with Python. So someone, let me start this question, please. So for service like vaccination, can we analyze the number conducted in each health facility? Yes, you can. So everything is subject to the action that those data are easily available from those carrying out that service. So like vaccination, there are different organizations that carry that vaccination. So if there's a central database that stores that, you can be able to get that insight on that. So I know also another host another repository of data on health has to do with grade 3. So you can check the video on health on if you can get data on that. So we'll move on to Python. So what we expect output from this is maybe we can try this in different countries, maybe different, instead of conflict, we cannot try it maybe at locations of flood and see how people would move when there's a flood incident to the nearest health facility, how far it would be for most people. So we'll move on to Python interface. So we'll go to Python. So so this is like the Africa Geoportal. Africa Geoportal also provides an ability for you to run Python via a notebook. So I'll just do a quick poll check. How many people know about Jupyter Notebook? You can just drop on the chat window if you heard about Jupyter Notebook, and if you know about Python. I do. Fine, awesome. So we have 2 people here, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And yeah, so ArcGIS provides an enablement whereby you can run Python codes using their libraries. So all these things you can do on your web service, they also provide enablement via a Python library API for you. So, and you can also run this online. So this ArcGIS online, hosted on Africa Geoportal. Now, if you want to access this, you can go to this website. I'll send it in the chat window now. Okay. So you can go to this. Then on this, you would see on the menu bar, you will see notebook. So you can click on the notebook. So it uses Python as an interface. Everyone, those very familiar, I don't want to make that assumption. Those familiar with Python, no, Python is very easy and very, very easy for it to work on. It's a very, very easy tool to use, or very, very easy programming language. You can pick it up within 1 week, you can learn how to play with it. So now on this interface, you can see my notebook, shared notebook, and Esri sample notebook. So this my notebook is like a notebook that I already created before. So you can also create yours. You can also have shared notebook in case there's a notebook that someone has already shared either in the group I am in or in the community I am in. So there are different notebooks shared by different people in Africa Geoportal community. So you can see them here. And also we have Esri sample notebook. So Esri gives you like a pre-made use case of using ArcGIS Python on their platform. So they have about 21 sample notebook which you can look at and play with. So when you want to start for the first time and you just need to create your own notebook, what you need to do, you need to come here and click on the notebook. So I advise you to use a standard notebook because though it's lightweight, you can do very basic things. It doesn't really do much complex. So for now, you won't be doing complex, but now if you want to do something more advanced analytics and you need something that needs high processing time, or like machine learning workflow, because you can also do machine learning and deep learning also with the ArcGIS notebook. you need an advanced, but advanced consumes more credit per hour, so you'll be running more of your credit faster. Then we also have advanced GPU. Like I've said, deep learning, if you need to do deep learning work, GPU is your best bet, but it comes with a price, 30 credits per hour. So, but currently what we'll be using now, we use the standard. So you can go to the standard and click on the standard if you're opening this for the first time. But however, also when it runs here. So for our use case, I'm going to be using my already existing notebook and showing us how on different way you can use ArcGIS Python. So while it runs, we'll wait for us to run. So the first thing you get welcome with is like a pre-importation of ArcGIS library, which is this. So you can run this to perform analysis. Then let me go to my already made notebook so I can explain different features for you, because there are some already added things that's different from what you see in your regular Jupyter notebook. This is a Jupyter notebook actually, but there are some also added features here already. So this is, sorry. So I'm going to go to my notebook already. This is my notebook. I can open this here. So my notebook, while my notebook opens, I need to see if we have any question on the chat window. Cool. So most time it takes time. Yeah, so this I already made notebook already. So what we have here currently first is this is the importation. Like if you're used to Python, the first line of your code needs to be importation of the libraries or what you need to use. But before then, let's look at the interface of ArcGIS notebook. Firstly, you are greeted with this special add-ons for you. So these add-ons, now you can add data that's content directly. You know, previously when we were using the web map, you saw that when you want to add data, you can add data using add map. Now you can add content using on this, either in your content in your group or in your organization. You can also add analysis if you want. Now you remember we already had analysis tools also there over there. So you can, it has a pretty made snippet tool for you, whereby if I wanted to do something like aggregate points, I can just click this. So it adds aggregate points for me and also asks me to put my infield features. So from this, you can also do summarize within, which we also tried previously. So you see it has the pre-made functions. So I will delete this for now. Then another thing also, you can also add code snippet. So there are things maybe you want to do in Python, you just don't want to wrap your head around how you want to do them. So they already have Python snippet for you. So so you can have your snippet. Maybe you can create your own script and wrap it in a function and save it. You can have a share, maybe you're working in a group as a team, and you can also use S3 pre-made snippet. So you can look at different snippets on data analysis, how to display an image from a URL, how to convert a feature from class to feature layer. They have also converted a feature to a data frame. So data frame is more like the basic entity in solving data in doing data analysis with Python. I think those used to Python, I believe we are very, very conversant with pandas data frame. Yeah, so let me do a poll. Those conversant with pandas data frame just on the chat window. You can drop I do or an emoji. Then with that, you can also add files also. So you can add your file. Now, previously I said you can also add content from already was in your group. It also gives you the leverage to add file like you do when you are solving problems. So now when you try to add file on the home folder, it won't allow you. So you can go on ArcGIS, it won't allow you. You need to click on the home to choose a particular file you want to add. So like if you can see here, I already have some files here already added. So you can click on this choose file and it takes you to your file browser on your phone for you to be able to add file in it. So let me walk you through the different way you can use this. So this is the import statement where it allows you to import this is a library into. So you have from ArcGIS.gis, import GIS. So this GIS is like a home library whereby you can use it in accessing other features of the ArcGIS. Now, and one thing you can also do is you can also view a map, like when we used the map viewer previously, you can also view a map using this. So if you can run this, and I can view a map on Nairobi, Kenya. So it loads, so it shows, so the map takes in the location you want to view, and also you can also ask for the zoom level. However, you can also use your mouse to zoom out or you zoom in. So while you can also view a map, also another thing you can do also, you can also add content, like I showed you when I want to add. So for example, this is a content I already added on Kenya conflict. See, if I have my organization, let me go to my group, and I want to add something on health, for example. I can come here and say, okay, Kenya health, and click on add. So it shows me icon, or it gives me a premeditated syntax for me to add file in. Now, if you see what it does, it adds content based on an ID. Now, use ID, if you have it like this, you might not be able to have more knowledge about what type of file you're trying to add. So that's why it also comes with a description of what you're adding. So it tells you title, this is Kenya site. It tells you the type of feature, which is a feature service. That means it's a layer. Then also it shows you the owner, which it's shown here already. So you can add this file to your Python notebook. So this is the one I have already added. So I called it item, or I call it Kenya conflict. So then I call it back here conflict, so I can be able to get the file back. Then this one, I can call this one Kenya health site. I can also call it out. So then in each of these, then what's another thing beautiful thing you can do also, it provides an enablement whereby for the file you added, it's a different data type. So if I check for a data type here, it's more of a ArcGIS data type. So if I check for type, so check for data type in Python, you can do type and calling the name of the variable. So it's an ArcGIS data type item. Now, those very used or very conversant we're using doing analysis with Python becomes very confusing if you want to use this to analyze. So there's an enablement for me to convert this from an item to a spatial data frame which is built on top of pandas. So if we convert it to data frame, I can call this. So for each of these layers, it expects that there may be more than one layers there. So, but since there's only one layer here, I don't need only the health site. So I'm going to get to the layer 0. So if I go to a health site here and click on this, I get the first layer. Then after it returns this, I can query and also convert this to spatial data frame and pass it to data frame. So if I run this, it should do this. Then if I check the data type of the result, you'll see it's a pandas data frame. Then I can also get the first 10 values of this. So you can see these are health site. It turns more like a pandas data frame. So I can also do the same thing also for my event data, for my conflict data. So remember my conflict data, the name was, sorry. So I remember my conflict data, the name was Kenya conflict. So I can come here and copy this. So this Kenya conflict data. So I get the first layer because it assumes there are more than one data in it. So it gets the first layer. Then it also converts this line, it converts is to pandas data frame also. So it takes time. Then you can check the data type and also look at what's the, so this Kenya conflict data. So you see the event and exactly what you are seeing on your table-like format. So then when you're moving on, then you can also do it the same way whereby you can filter features in pandas. You can also do that here. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to filter the events that I just need only event September 2021 to November 2021 30th. So if I run this, it's going to run. So I'm trying to filter. So it returns just those events in September and also in November 2021. So you can do any type of Python analysis tools. You can check the number of columns here. So I can call it columns, and it returns the number of columns here for me. You can also add your data set to a map. Now remember, when we call the data, we called it, this is what we called it as Kenya conflict. So I can add this conflict data to a map by running this map.add layer. I can call Kenya conflict. So I add this to a map, and I also check the map back. So what it shows is once it loads also the conflict data also on the map. So this is like a map widget that you can also load the content from what you have there. Then the next thing I can also do is I can also add already existing content that apart from the layers, I can also add already existing analysis I've already done. So this is conflict per country Kenya, which I already did previously. So if I check my content, I can see already existing analysis, which I have already done. So I can add them on my map. So I can add this web map service. So I can also add this to my Python interface. I can also add nearest conflict to hospital, which we did already, to my interface. Then if I add, another thing I can also do is I can also change the base map here. So I can change the base map from default to a gray vector. So it changes to a gray vector. This is it. So we already talked about previously created layers, which you can also add here. So this is conflict health, which I did previously. I can also add it. This is a web map service to my layer interface. Also, why also adding layer? Also, I can also remove layers in it. So this GIS, why I call this another map, GIS.map, calling the locations of the map you want to map, and also the zoom level. I can also remove the number of layers there. You can call map2.remove layer and also call all the layers. So map2.layers removes everything in that layer. Then these are also a sample of already existing layer, which I had already added. And I can also, like I said, I can also remove layers over there. So those are like various things you can carry out, or you can also do with your special Python special. So like I've said previously, also you can, if you want to add analysis to here, can come here to summarize. Maybe you want to aggregate points. You can come aggregate the point, then check for the input features needed for you to aggregate. If you want to aggregate what's the number of health facilities in a admin boundary, so you can do that here. So I think we'll stop there for today. So and then next tutorial will show you how you can do more of a time series analysis using ArcGIS Python, because when you try to manipulate data, it becomes very versatile if you use Python. But another alternative you can also use, you can use ArcGIS Pro also to manipulate also data easily. So the web service is more versatile when you're trying to map or trying to visualize your data easily. So it makes the visualization of data more easy for you. So what next we'll do is we'll get questions from people. So if you have questions, you can drop your questions on the chat window, and we'll take it from here. So questions can involve difficulty in joining the group, and also difficulty also in getting ArcGIS Pro license, also difficulty also in carrier analysis. So any questions you have, you can ask on the chat window. Okay. So currently we don't really have any question yet. So I think we don't have any question. It's clear with everyone. Someone is asking, please, can I download ArcGIS on my PC? Yes, if you're using a Windows PC, you can download. So hope you're already on the group and you've already received a mail of ArcGIS Pro license. So from there, you can download ArcGIS Pro on your PC. As long as you're using a Windows PC, yes, it's pretty possible. Is that clear, Messi? Yeah, thanks for presenting. Yeah, thank you, Ayo. So someone's asking me, I should scroll, please kindly scroll down gently, screen gently. Yeah, so what area do you want to see? Okay, there's no option. So you can ask various, I'm already in the group, but I haven't received the mail on pro license. Okay, Abdulatif it's having issues. When did you join the group? Was it recently? Because we sent access about 2 days ago. So when did you join the group? However, we're going to run now since the first class. Oh, okay, so you can reach out to any of the admin on the Telegram group. You drop your email address, then we'll check if what the issue is. Okay. So we still have 8 more minutes before the end of our class. Data about Nigeria is not really available for parts like Kenya. Yeah, we have all data available. All data are available. I think the conflict data for Nigeria will be loaded soon. It's not available in Nigeria currently, but will be loaded soon. Okay, you don't have all data. Can you like mention one? Okay, someone is saying, can I see where you created the data frame? Okay, data frame. So this is where we created the data frame. Hold on, please. So this is where I created the data frame. So this is the result from loading the content, which is ArcGIS. Then we had to get out the particular layer. Then we pass the result to a variable F layer. Then from this F layer, we had to put query and .sdf. So the SDF is special data frame. It converts this to a data frame. So this .query means you try to query everything and you convert the result of everything to a data frame. Then you can have this. Hope that's clear. The Nigerian boundary is not in okay, same issue. Nigerian boundary is not in. So we would look at this. So we will add Nigerian boundary. Nigerian boundary should be in the interface, but if it's not in the interface, if it's not in the platform, we're going to add it. I think before the end of the day, you should see it. Yes, you can do specific analysis for states like Lagos. Exactly. We have Nigerian boundary on the platform. So at the end of this, we need to send link to those Nigerian boundary to you on our Telegram group. Please, you need to join the Telegram group so you can get more information that are not passed here, because we send information there, and also we also resolve issues on our group. Like conflict, I have used one from another source, Abinam conflict. Here, all those data will be made available. Please can people online participate in team competition? So what you mean by people online, anyone can participate in the hackathon. It's open to everyone. Okay, the ArcGIS software is for the pro version. That's why you need to download it then. So for you to be able to have access to the pro version, you need to ArcGIS software, which is on Windows. But for you to be able to use the ArcGIS online, you just need to log in. Yeah. So our team is going to help you in those data that you're having issues in having currently. Yeah. So I think that's that we have. So I want to know the advantage of using WebGIS. Okay, WebGIS, the advantage is this. You don't need to install anything on your laptop. You don't need to have, if your laptop is slow, no dependency issue. But the desktop version, the laptop must be, you must have a very good PC. And also your data might have to resize on your laptop. But for the web, data is already on our platform, so you can do analysis there. You don't just need an internet and a browser. That's the advantage of the web over the desktop. The people not from other 4 countries can take paper. Currently, we have availability for just 4 countries data for now. We need to hear about how to use. Sorry, then do you mean how to use the ArcGIS desktop? Yeah, thank you, Inokos. Yeah. Yeah, so we have 1 more minute to answering your questions. The hackathon is going to, can I download my output on the map as PDF? So you can export your values. Do you mean from the map service or from the notebook? Because from the notebook, there is a capability for you to share. So you can share your notebook. You can share your notebook. There's a capability for you to share your notebook on the notebook. Let me see what you mean. Okay, map analysis. Yes, you can export your analysis. You can export your analysis. So you need to work with the ArcGIS Pro for you to do that. Can you upload shape files such as QGIS to ArcGIS? Exactly, you can. You can. Perfect. Shapefile. In fact, ArcGIS S3, they were the creators of shapefiles, so you should be able to do that. You can, Steve. Can I download? Okay, I've answered this question. Your map analysis, yeah. So, Favor, so if you're having issues in also doing that, you can also contact us on the Telegram group. We also find a way to walk you around that. You can do that easily on the desktop. You can do that easily on ArcGIS desktop to export your map. Down data on my PC. Yeah, you can export specific data on your PC. Hey, you would have to. How do I get a Telegram group? Please, can you drop the link to the Telegram group? Yes, you can. You can do that. And thank you, Favor. Please, can you drop the link to the Telegram group? Okay, so the link to the Telegram will be dropped soon for you to join. So over to you, Abel. Thank you all for your time. Hope to see you next week. Okay, well, before Abel comes up, let me answer a question. I can't find my data. What data are you asking from? Ogumusire. What data are you asking from? Is it data available in our content or your personal data? So for data to be spatial data, it must have longitude and latitude. If it's not spatial data, it won't have latitude and longitude. So this is the link for you to join our Telegram group. So this is the link for you to join Telegram group. So you need to join. If you're not already on the Telegram, you can join Telegram group. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bill. Yeah.
All right, thank you everyone. So it's been an interesting time, and we're excited to have this session with you again. Thanks a lot for joining us today. So we look forward to another great time next week, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, sorry. Tuesday rather, not Monday. Excuse me. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday will be another great time next week, and we look forward to having a great time with you all. Ensure you bring along your friend. Make it a shared learning. Don't consume it alone. And like we mentioned, we shall just quickly run you through before we close out for today again, is the timeline of the event. Please, it's important that you hold this at the back of your mind. I'm just going to run it through again so that you see that. You can take a screenshot of it so that you don't miss out anything. You don't miss out anything on this. This is not something to miss actually. So please, please make sure you have it all documented. So we'll be closing out for today. It's been an interesting session with you all, and we look forward to another exciting time with you. Thank you for joining us today. Do have a great day ahead and a great weekend ahead. Thank you.